Bonjour, hello, and welcome to MaxMountainWorld. Here's an update on the latest situation up here in the Alps, in the Southern Alps, in Les-Orres, wherever. Just to say that I've not actually been out for a week. I've been indoors for a week. No particular reason except that I just don't want to be mixing with people. As such, I'm not just self-confined, I've no coronavirus, nothing. Don't worry guys, everything's cool, everything's good. Normally I can have a radio working, but the conditions are just nothing down there. Just not a lot happening at all. So I'm going to have to go out to go and have a look around. So I've not started the car for a week either. So good opportunity to get out, have a little whiz around in the car, see what's happening, see what's going on, check out basically the situation. So here's the video. So looking at the coronavirus part of the Worldometers page, or Worldometers, or whatever they call it. You can see this is not really worth looking at this today. It's 12:30 Central European time. So instead of trying to look at today's stuff, which hasn't really been submitted as yet, I'll quickly go on to yesterday. Now, this shows all the stuff that was happening yesterday. The States, UK not doing well, Russia, France not doing well. And there's a little click on up here, which is columns. That dictates what you have around in the columns here. Now some of them I don't really look at, so I'll create a bit of space by doing away with a couple of things, and then I'll show you something interesting. So total tests, don't really need that info just now. Tests per million, don't really need that. Populations at the end, and you'll see that that's only just appeared in as I've gotten rid of these other columns as such. So let's go and just get rid of a couple more just to have a bit of space to play with what I'm going to show you. Now, serious critical, I'll leave that out, and active, I'll leave that out. It's not to say that it's not important. All I'm doing is creating a space for a couple of columns here, because you'll see down the bottom here there's three options for columns which don't appear very obvious on the site, but if I click on them, cases per X number of people, cases of death per X number of people, and tests per X number of people. And you can see on the right here, if I just go over and zoom in, you'll see that these figures can be quite scary. I'm just balancing the camera here, so please forgive this, but in the total cases per whatever it is per people of population, America is on, is that America? Yeah, the USA, 1 in 13 people. Really? Now let's just do away with that, have a look at the whole thing. I'll cancel off the columns thing because I can now work on this. Now just zoom out a little bit more and we can see exactly what I'm doing. Hopefully you've got the screen resolution to do what I'm doing here and see what I'm doing here. But we look down to UK, 1 in 18 people has had or does have the case. That's in UK. In France, 1 in 21 people. That's the one I want to focus on, because for the deaths for every 864 people someone's died, which is scary enough. But this figure here for the cases, bear in mind cases can mean people that have recovered or people that are in a long-term recovery for the long-term effects. But 21, that means 1 in 21 people. 5% of the French population has had the coronavirus. All that's just basically a foundation for what I'm going to go out now in the car and see what's happening, see what's going on. A quick weather report as well. I've not actually experienced weather, and I know that the weather has been a bit changed to to what was forecast, but that's another thing. I'll explain that one in the car. So let's go out and have a little look around, see what's going down. So there's people coming here skiing, locals, Department 05 and the registration. I'm going to head back up and do a tour from top to bottom. You can see they've cleared the road here. We had a lot of snow about a week ago, and it was supposed to get a lot more snow, but then the temperature rose in general about 7 or 8 degrees, and instead it rained. So there's still a little bit on odds and ends up here on the roads and whatever, but by no means risky. And we're supposed to get a bit more rain and then snow this evening. There's a few spots on the screen just now. And I'm just going to head up to the top. Now Saturday, this is 1 o'clock. Saturday, traditionally at this time, the previous weeks people have all gone, and the following week's people are all arriving. And this is happening, but in very, very small quantities. You can see on the right here just how much the snow's compressed with the rain. That used to be about twice as deep as that when it first fell, although it's still pretty deep. So quite a few cars about. One from Belgium, which is interesting because Belgians are recently not allowed to cross border. One from 38, Isère 2B from Corsica, 13 Marseille, 13 Marseille. What's happening down here? 13 Marseille with wrongly fitted chains, 2A Corsica, and 13 Marseille. Let's continue this theme. 13 Marseille, 6 neighbouring the Alps further south from here. 83 Var, 13 Marseille, 13 Marseille, 78 I don't know, but I suspect that's northish somewhere. 13 Marseille, 13 Marseille, 13 Marseille. Now that's just the vehicles parked in the main street. Now I'm not going to do any political stuff here. I'm just going to try and talk some sense. The last couple of things that I've said here, 1 in 20, 5% of the population. Now obviously we're very good up here. So you take the law of averages, and the big cities, especially Marseille, it's been hit very hard. Paris, Lyon, they've all been hit a lot harder. So they're maybe sort of like 1 in 13, 14, heading towards the same sort of level as the USA. I don't know, but what's happening is that they're coming up here for holidays and they're just bringing it with them. We're more susceptible because almost nobody here has it. I don't understand why they're doing that. I don't understand why the government hasn't enforced a full lockdown. Their most recent announcement was that they're not going to do that. The reason why is they're scared. Yellow bellies. All of them. Macron, the whole shooting match. They don't want any of these demonstrations that's been happening in other countries. So they're trying to keep folk calm. Keeping folk calm or keeping them alive? That's the question. Anyway, that's the end of the political statement, the political rant as it were. Let's go and have a little look around, see what's what on other things. So many of these people who have arrived from high COVID impact zones, you could call it. 1 in 15, well let's go back to the 1 in 21 figure. Now there's more than 20 people here. So what's the chances someone's brought it with them? There we go. Anyway, let's go and focus on the weather. Now when they've cleared the snow from that last storm, you can see where they've actually had to tip everything off here. All the snow been chucked over the side. When I was down the bottom there just now, you can actually see, probably with a camera, not me, where they've tipped it up over the side and then cleared it off the road below where it landed. Same's happened over here. You can see it's just mountains of snow that have been chucked aside here. So looking further over, looking towards the Parc des Écrins, you can see where the snow line is. It's kind of there. Below there, it's kind of drizzly, wet, rainy stuff. Above it, it is snowing and contributing to the white peaks up there. This snow line and precipitation is supposed to drop down here probably around nightfall this evening. So looking up the mountain towards the Busso Link, which is 2,832 metres, I think. Just down, you can't really see it, but just down there and just down here, a couple of little sort of mini couloirs on the side of what we refer to as the Avalanche Zone up there. And it has actually avalanched a couple of times. Now that would have happened naturally because they have no reason to go and activate the various things that they have up there just now because there's almost nobody up the mountain. So that's what's happening up in 1800, the top little station. You can see the car park's fairly full. A lot fuller than, in my opinion, it should be. 13. Incredible. Half of Marseille must be here. Yeah, so let's go down to 1650 and we'll, the main station, just see what's going on down there. Road's kind of clear. Quick test to see how slippy it is in a second. It's not too bad. So just coming up to the main station here, group of people, social distancing and masks, not. And again, the car park filling up. People just not observing anything up here. It's almost like they come here and they think it's some kind of safe zone or something. It's only a safe zone until the first person causes a problem. Now, just come up here, you can see they've got the roads closed. It is clear. It is a little bit lower down here, about 150 metres or 500 feet lower in altitude. So it's easier for them to keep this clear, and they do prioritise it because it gets used a lot more. So up into the main station, tourist office on the right, always open. Another Corsican vehicle. People just, yeah, I mean, it's a car. Yeah, hello. Gee whiz. I mean, they come up here, it's like their brains are still in outer space. And there's another Marseille car. They're everywhere here. I'm so glad I'm not walking about in this. 13, they're almost all from Marseille, one of the worst affected areas of France. Unbelievable. Definitely not from this planet anyway. Yeah, you see how busy it is. There's parking right the way down the road as well. Unbelievable. And these people are all going to be the first people to complain when next week, when the school holidays starts for real and they can't do anything. They'll be blaming the government. And the problem is, they blame the government, people should be blaming themselves. It's the stupidity of the population that's got us this far into it without getting us back out of it again. I'm going to stop ranting now. Good practice. Marseille, Marseille, Marseille. Now I've got nothing against Marseille people. Don't get me wrong in that. I'm just observing. So that's the look around. The main thing for me is the weather. Now the weather seems to have changed. I've done this before in previous videos. It's not changed to an amount that you or I would notice, but it's changed to the amount that the models that the forecasting use has changed functionally, and by the time that's changed, the next bit, and it's all gone haywire. I find that the forecasting is just off. and that's it. We were forecast a lot of snow this couple of days. Nothing happened. A little bit of rain. So we just have to see what happens. I'll do some updates if it does snow, whatever. In the meantime, I'm going back in to drink some more coffee. So thanks very much for watching. Just a little update video. And remember, keep subscribing down there. Keep clicking on the old bell for notifications of further uploads from Max Mountain World. So until the next video, ciao. Remember, think safe, be safe. I just found something really neat, and it takes the form of an empty car park where the snow's been compressed, it's been rained on, and it's beautiful. Check it out. So what can we do with this? I'm doing about 10 kilometers an hour. Handbrake up. Hey, we're drifting. And there is a 360.